These players have been the core of this young dynasty, and they will represent the senior class that leads the best team that Coach Steele has put on the field in his tenure at Illinois to this point. There is a lot of buzz and optimism around this program right now, and everyone knows this season has a chance to be special. He hands it off to Chase Hayden here, and Hayden is gonna bounce around some defenders, and he is gone. Chase Hayden to the house, touchdown. A 72-yard rushing touchdown for Hayden, and the explosive plays continue. And the Missouri Tigers have come into Champaign and upset Illinois on the road. 1st and 10 now, 5 wide for Illinois. Clock is ticking down, and Isaiah rolls to his left, he fires, and he finds Kenny Rogers in the end zone. Kenny Rogers, the freshman, picks up his first career touchdown reception. Illinois loses a hard-fought game in Happy Valley. Illinois, really, if they want to get to the Big Ten championship game, they're going to have to run the table. I think that's what it's going to take. It's shaping up to be a very tough road ahead for the Illini. 1st and 10 now for midfield. They're going to hand it off to Hayden, and Hayden's got some nice blocking upfield, and he is gone. Chase Hayden, house call, and he is in 51 yards and pay dirt. An interesting development here. Deuce Spann is into the game at quarterback. Thorne from under the gun. He's going to loft it to the outside, and it's jumped by Marquez Beeson. Beeson's going the other way. He is gone. Marquez Beeson, Illinois, touchdown. Swing the pendulum back. What a play from Marquez Beeson. And he led a clutch drive last week against Michigan State, and he's got a man downfield here, and that's Kyron Cumby. That's a touchdown. What a bomb from Deuce Spann. And Spann is looking to fire it deep this time, and he's got Cumby over the shoulder into the end zone. A touchdown. Deuce Spann, a bomb to Kyron Cumby to open the day. How about that? Play action. Hogan is going to step up, and he's going to fire to the outside, and he throws it right to Wyatt Anderson. Anderson's going the other way. He makes a man miss, and he is in. Pick 6. Illinois has come storming back, and they have the lead. What looked like was going to be a blowout win for Iowa turned into a ferocious Illini comeback and 29 unanswered points. 1st down and 10. Spann's looking to throw. He's going to loft it into the end zone, and he's got Griffin Moore. Touchdown, Illini. Can they walk off on Nebraska for 2 years in a row in overtime? I expect a run call here. 1st and goal from the 6. It's going to be handoff to Reggie Love, and Love is in. Touchdown, ball game, walk off, and Illinois beats Nebraska in overtime for the 2nd year in a row. Number 5 goes down in Champaign. Don't look now, but these Illini are very much in the mix in the Big Ten West. It's going to be a read option once again, and Spann keeps it himself, and Spann is into the end zone. Touchdown, Illinois. Deuce Spann, his 4th rushing touchdown of the night. Unbelievable. Illinois now has 15 yards standing between them and potentially knocking off number 4. Pyfiri looking to throw. He's going to fire for Yassine, and Yassine breaks away, but he's going to be short. He didn't get there. This ball game is over. Illinois has knocked off Purdue on the road. What a stop from Illinois, and in double overtime, they upset Purdue. Number 4 goes down. These Illini have done it again. The team rushes to celebrate at midfield as Ross-Ade Stadium is silenced. So now 1st down and 10. Illinois threatening to make this a 2-score lead. Spann fires to the left side, and he's got Patrick Bryant. Touchdown, Illinois. The Illinois Fighting Illini have beaten 3 undefeated teams in a row. Number 5 Nebraska, number 4 Purdue, and now number 3 Wisconsin go down. Illinois has gone through one of the toughest divisions in college football, and they now sit atop the Big Ten West. Illinois is 1 win away from going to the Big Ten championship game in Season 3. He sets up Illinois with the offense back up near the 30-yard line. Spann will keep it here, and Spann is going to dance down the field, and he is in! Touchdown, Illini! Fresh set of downs now for Illinois. Spann is looking to his left. And Spann is buying some time. He's got a man wide open downfield. It's to Laven Campbell, and Campbell is gone. Touchdown, Illinois. 56 yards. The senior receiver hauls it in. The final kneel down. Chase Hayden, Keith Randolph, Marquez Beeson, Shaman Cooper. All the Illini seniors, headed by Isaiah Williams, will kneel it down, and Illinois sends off their seniors with a victory in Week 12 and is going to the Big Ten championship game. Penn State will kick it off here to open up the second half. So Kyron Cumby will get the return, and Kyron Cumby with the speed. He's got room down the left side, and he is gone. Kyron Cumby to the house for the 3rd game in a row. And a first down here will end the game. It's 3rd down and 11 here. Spann reading the field, and he's going to look to throw. And Spann is backing up, and he's going to fire downfield, and he's got Patrick Bryant. First down, Illinois. Timeout, Penn State. They have battled, they have beaten multiple top 5 teams this season, and the Illinois Fighting Illini are Big Ten champions. Coach David Deal, in his 3rd season, inheriting a program that was down in the dumps, elevates it up, and now they sit atop the Big Ten Conference in 2023. David Deal will host the Big Ten Championship Trophy, and we have effectively accomplished our goal here in Season 3. We are going to the Rose Bowl to face off against the Washington Huskies. Illinois has it from the 9-yard line. Spann looking to throw here, and he's going to bail out to his left. And Spann's going to fire at the last second, and he's got Kenny Rogers in the end zone. Touchdown, Illinois. Kenny Rogers, his 2nd one today. And now Washington is down to their last strike. A turnover on downs here will virtually end the game. They set up a screen for Davis, and Davis is going to be met. Turnover on downs. Play clock winding down, and Williams is going to keep it himself, and he slides down. 000 on the clock. The Illinois Fighting Illini win the Rose Bowl. Head coach David Deal caps off his 3rd season at the helm of this program with a 12-2 season, a Big Ten championship, and a Rose Bowl victory. The Illinois Fighting Illini are back, and they have arrived in college football. Coach Deal will host the Rose Bowl trophy, and Illinois caps off a fantastic season here with a tremendous victory in Pasadena.
Welcome back to the Illinois Fighting Illini Dynasty. I'm your host, Jay Shoob, and we got another good episode for you guys today. It's going to be Season 3 recap. I hope y'all are pumped after watching that highlight montage. I put a lot of work into that, so hope you guys enjoyed that. It felt it really told the story of our season. There were a lot of key moments, a lot of memories made along the way this season. So without further ado, we'll get into it today. We're going to cover the bowl results, the player and team stats for Illinois, and then the next episode after this one will be the offseason. Now looking at the national championship and other bowl results, Clemson beats Notre Dame to win the national championship. Tayson Fomachan, I think I said that right. He threw for 5 touchdown passes in this game against Notre Dame, and as you can see there, he had a big day, and Clemson beats Notre Dame to win the national championship. So Clemson, the 3rd straight national champion in this dynasty, that was the only team to finish the year undefeated. Now looking at other bowl results, Wisconsin beat Air Force in the Orange Bowl. Big win for the Badgers there. Wisconsin was a really good team, no surprise there. Nebraska beats Iowa State in the Cotton Bowl, so Nebraska gets another win. So the Big Ten with 2 New Year's Six Bowl wins there. A&M beats out TCU in the Sugar Bowl. A&M won the SEC. Tennessee beats UNC 45-28 in the Fiesta Bowl. Of course, our Illini won the Rose Bowl. So the Big Ten West had 3 New Year's Six Bowl wins. That was a stacked division this season. Florida beats out Penn State. That one was actually in overtime. So Penn State narrowly loses to Florida. That was a good matchup there. Alabama beats up on Pitt in the Peach Bowl. Michigan loses a close one to Oklahoma in the Music City Bowl. Michigan State loses to West Virginia in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. So not all the Big Ten teams won in bowl season, but the Big Ten West did very well this year. As we expected, it was a stacked division, and we rolled right through it. Purdue, who fell all the way down to the Duke's Mayo Bowl, they beat down on Syracuse. That one was a lopsided matchup, to say the least. Purdue was definitely a top 10 caliber team this season. So the Big Ten West goes 4-0 in 3 New Year's Six Bowl victories for that division alone. And then Ohio State beats Duke in the Arizona Bowl. Now looking at the player stats here for Illinois, we'll start up, of course, with quarterback. And you can see, look at the numbers between Deuce Spann and Isaiah Williams. This was a big controversy towards the middle of the season, and the numbers don't really lie. Spann had nearly double the amount of yards, passing yards, as Isaiah Williams. He had nearly 3 times as many passing touchdowns, threw for less interceptions. The completion percentage was 7 points higher. So the numbers don't lie here. Spann was definitely a better quarterback than Isaiah Williams, and that move really paid off middle of the season when we decided to change there at quarterback. And Spann only did that in half a season, keep in mind. Chase Hayden led the team in rushing attempts, no surprise. Hayden nearly got to 1,500 yards rushing. Would have been good for him to get to that milestone, but still another big season for Chase Hayden. He was a bell cow on the ground for Illinois. Certainly one of the best players on this team. He also, no surprise, led the team in rushing touchdowns with 13. Reggie Love and Deuce Spann tied with 7 of them each. So Spann definitely was a big weapon on the goal line as well. Him and Reggie Love got a lot of carries as well. Average yards per game, Hayden averaged over 100 yards. Fantastic work, fantastic stuff from Chase Hayden. Again, these Illinois running backs get a lot of work, and they usually do well in this system. 291 yards after contact for Hayden. As far as the receivers, Kyron Cumbie led the team in receptions for the 3rd straight year in a row. Kyron Cumbie, no doubt, was Illinois' best receiver on the year. Chase Hayden, DeLayvin Campbell, 2nd and 3rd in receptions. Receiving yards, Cumbie led as well, along with DeLayvin Campbell and Patrick Bryan were behind him. Campbell and Bryan didn't get quite as much volume as I thought they would at the beginning of the season, because Illinois' passing game really struggled, especially at the beginning and middle of the season. Average yards per reception, James Frenchie Jr. actually averaged the most, believe it or not. Receiving touchdowns, Kyron Cumbie led with 6. Kenny Rogers, I bet you wouldn't have guessed that. Kenny Rogers was 2nd on the team with 3 receiving touchdowns. He got 2 of those in the Rose Bowl game. And you can see not a lot of passing touchdowns for Illinois this season, but Cumbie and Rogers got a majority of them. Yards after the catch, Chase Hayden and Cumbie nearly had the same amount there. Those two were very good. Those were 2 of Illinois' best playmakers. And the Illinois receivers didn't really get as much work as I was hoped to. That's something we will address in the offseason. I want this team to be able to pass more, but we'll get into that in the next video. As far as the blocking, how about Brevin Jones, the left tackle? He was the only senior on this offensive line. He had 13 pancakes. And I think this is the most amount of pancakes that an Illinois offensive lineman has had to this point in this dynasty. 13 pancakes. He only gave up 2 sacks. Brevin Jones was very good at left tackle. And even though the stats, it's really hard to judge offensive linemen in this dynasty, but Brevin Jones really stood out there. Defensively for Illinois, this defense was absolutely loaded. So many of my favorite players in this dynasty on this defense. Shimon Cooper led the team with 71 total tackles. Shimon Cooper was a beast. Tackles for loss, no surprise. Keith Randolph, the All-American, the 2-time Lombardi Award winner, had 21 tackles for losses. Moses Okpala led the team in sacks. He actually beat out Keith Randolph by 1 more sack, which is hard to believe since Keith Randolph led all of college football in sacks last season. But Okpala was quietly very good this season. Randolph up there as well in sacks. Interceptions, Marquez Beeson, he was a ball hog. He got 6 interceptions. Wyatt Anderson, the redshirt freshman, he got 3 of them. Anderson had some big moments. He had a big pick 6, as you guys saw in the highlight video at the beginning of, in the highlight montage at the beginning of the video. Prince Green with a couple interceptions as well. And this secondary was so good. This one was big reason why the defense took a huge step up this year, and they were number 2 in the country. Pass deflections, Beeson also led the team with 6 pass deflections. Daniel Edwards, Cornelius Taylor up there as well. And Keith Randolph, how about 3 forced fumbles for Keith Randolph, man. He was such a good player. I'm going to miss Keith Randolph so much. I hope he gets drafted. I think he should be drafted, and he definitely should be on an NFL roster. And then pick 6s, as I just mentioned. Wyatt Anderson and Beeson got 1 each. 2 big moments in each of their respective games. And in the kicking game, Reggie Mathis, the true freshman, I thought he did pretty well after it's all said and done. 17 to 21, he had an 80% field goal percentage there. So he had a long of 50 yards, and he's going to be very good in the years to come. He's got a very strong leg. Kickoff returns, Kyron Cumby, he nearly got to 1,500 yards on the season. He had 3 kickoff return touchdowns. All 3 of those were in consecutive games towards the end of the season there. And he really stepped it up towards the end of the year in special teams. And now the team stats here. Looking at the offense for Illinois, this is in all of college football, and you can see they're kind of right in the middle of the pack. So Illinois on the national scale sort of had an average offense, and that's no surprise to me. I think next year with Deuce Spann at the quarterback throughout the whole year, it should be a lot better. And then defensively, Illinois was number 2 in the entire country in defense. Wisconsin was number 1, and then there's Illinois right there at number 2. Statistically, they had the number 2 defense in all of college football. Ryan Walters, the defensive coordinator, has done such a great job. This Illini defense was so much fun. It was so good this season. Very good. Elite play all around from Illinois defensively. And now looking through the lens of the Big Ten Conference, Illinois offensively, they were middle of the pack in total offense. As I've been harping on, is that Illinois was bottom of the Big Ten in total passing yards, and at least they were in Northwestern. I can't believe that right there. They didn't even throw for 1,000 yards on this season. But rushing yards, Illinois definitely was very good on the ground this season. They were 5th in the conference. And rushing yards, Wisconsin, who loves to run the ball, they were number 1. Points per game, no surprise, was also Wisconsin. Purdue up there as well. They had a good offense. Illinois, I was kind of surprised they were 6th in the country in points, or 6th in the conference in points per game. Passing touchdowns, Purdue up there at number 1, Illinois 2nd to last. Rushing touchdowns, though, Illinois was number 1 in the Big Ten. They beat out Wisconsin for rushing touchdowns, so at least they got that on the Badgers. Sacks allowed as well. Illinois had the 2nd fewest sacks allowed in the country. I don't think that's really a testament to the offensive line, more so the quarterback play. I think Deuce Spann and Isaiah Williams were 2 good mobile quarterbacks that can evade pressure. And now defensively, of course, the only defense that was better than Illinois this year happens to be in their same conference. So Wisconsin was better than Illinois statistically on defense. Passing yards allowed, Illinois was towards the bottom of the Big Ten. but that really was made up for by the rushing yards allowed. Illinois, by a huge margin, was number 1 in the conference in rushing yards allowed. Sacks as well. Illinois was number 1 in the conference in sacks, a testament to the defensive line. And then they were sort of middle of the pack in terms of interceptions. As far as conversions, I just kind of wanted to take a look at this. Third down conversions, Illinois was actually 4th in the Big Ten with a 49% third down conversion rate, so basically 50% there. And then fourth down attempts, you see Illinois was very aggressive. They usually are. And they led the conference in fourth down attempts, and then they were 50-50 right on the dot. 15 for 30 on fourth downs this season, so I thought that was a little interesting. I think it's good that Illinois goes for it more than anybody else in the conference. As far as red zone efficiency, looking at offensive red zone percentage here, Illinois actually was number 3 in the conference, so this is something that you don't really pay attention to, but Illinois was very good in the red zone offensively, so that's something that's good to see, something that we will definitely try to build on offensively. And then they were middle of the pack defensively as well. And then turnovers, last but certainly not least, turnovers. It was better than it was the previous 2 years. At least we were in Maryland with minus 16. But turnovers, it's honestly one of the biggest challenges in this dynasty playing this game, is to have a positive turnover differential. And that's something that we will try to improve on. And that'll do it for today's video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed seeing the player and team stats from Illinois. Hopefully you guys got the big picture of which players stood out and see if those numbers correlated with what you saw on the field during the season. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the highlight montage at the beginning of the video. I put a lot of effort into that, and thought it really told the story of what went on this season. And the next episode is going to be the off-season. And this will be no doubt a big offseason for Illinois. A lot of seniors are going to be leaving this year, and it's going to be very much a different team next season. There still will be key guys coming back, like Span, of course, at quarterback. He'll be coming back. That will definitely raise the floor for what this team can accomplish next season. But other than that, there's going to be a lot of players like Chase Hayden, Kyron Cumbie, Keith Randolph, Shamon Cooper, Marquez Beeson, Seth Coleman. A lot of these guys are seniors, and they're going to be leaving this year. So there's going to be a lot of young guys that are going to replace Illinois. And there's some things that I'm going to change up definitely in the off season, so it'll be a big video. I'm going to try to keep it under an hour long, and that'll be the next big video up on the docket. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this content here in this video. It's much appreciated, and as always, leave comments, guys. Let me know what you think about the Dynasty and all that. So I will see you all for the next video for the off season.